Okay, this is going to be my third and final video on shadow work for today, and in this video I'm going to talk about all my deepest secrets, my scary thoughts that I have, anything I'm too scared to talk about, like when I masturbate or I play with my pussy, or I'm not talking about things going on in my love relationships. I say to myself sometimes, I don't feel like going out and talking to people. In fact, I avoid people like the plague. I put my head down. I also don't like making second, triple, or fourth appearances in stores. If I start to get anxious and start to feel like people are connecting the dots and starting to figure out who I am. And yes, that's one of my fears, something that I came into this life with, this unknowing or this strange feeling I have like I'm being watched, or I have things, people, entities, groups of energy to be scared of or watchful for because of places I've been in my past. Yes, I believe in reincarnation, where I have been someone that somebody knew about and who they were, like deep down on the inside, and that I had to go on the run from. So one of my fears and one of my dark insecurities is feeling like I'm always on the run and I'm always on the move. And yes, you could think about my childhood and how that was, because when I was a child, my parents always wanted to travel. My mom always needed to travel. She always wanted to get away from home and out of the house. And that is something that I end up experiencing a lot as a kid growing up in this lifetime. My name is Shayna Elise Blackman, but I have been some badass woman in my past. But I'm afraid to get close and love connection, a love relationship. I'm afraid to express myself, especially around strangers, people I don't know, sex, things people don't talk about, nudity, being afraid to be unclothed or exposed in public, and speaking out loud, speaking my truth, getting down and dirty, not being afraid to say what's on people's minds, that people think that they have you tied in a knot in a game, their own game that they created, they formulated themselves. I've also cleared up a lot of space for this video, so thank God I am speaking. Sometimes I'm even afraid to step out of this comfort zone or an image or a place that people have put me, where they find me this way and they're safe with me being this way, like me this way. Or I was just constantly absorbing people all the time and then forgetting myself and realizing that I didn't need anyone, I didn't need any of their thoughts about me or how they saw me or viewed me. And yeah, pick my nose. I do pick my nose. I'm an original woman. I pick my nose. Also learning just to clutch the boob when you feel uncomfortable. And there's a lot of different type of women that aren't afraid of expressing body, how they feel about themselves, their bodies, and communicating and connecting with their bodies in public when there's other people around. And that's one trap you don't want to get into, is feeling afraid of what people are going to be thinking and what people are going to be fantasizing about you. But the whole point of that was not to focus and not to attach yourself to these thoughts, to the ideas, and to the people. Even if these thoughts are real or are being created by them, the whole point was the detachment, of having a careful, a healthy detachment from these people, so you don't end up absorbing those thoughts, those ideas, and that energy. And then it doesn't feel like you're juggling, everyone else's balls.
Yeah, you got it.
You know? I just want to juggle my own balls, so and that's where I am, juggling my own balls, playing with my own pussy without anyone telling me something about that, or not that I need to hear it, or like, I don't care about it. Well, I love myself, and there, I went out with it, and I said it. And yes, I've started to become unafraid of saying things like fuck you and not being afraid of confrontation, because actually some confrontation really is necessary, and avoiding confrontation just means you're avoiding the inevitable of something that already is happening on some realm, some dimension. So get out there, be unafraid, be uncomfortable. It's okay to feel alone, to be depressed. We all go through these moments in our lives where when the people are gone and it's just us, and we feel this like uncontrol, like our lives are gonna turn chaotic. People are going to be turning against us, saying things against us. And then what people are saying about the anxieties that we might have, which isn't benefiting us at all. It really is better to be safe in our company alone. When I use the word safe, I mean an emotional safety. That we can be comfortable in these uncomfortable places alone by ourselves. We can be out, and the sun's gone and the moon is out and it's dark, it's pitch black, and we can be there in that place and not feel so, insecure or like energy drained or like scared or suddenly like someone pulled the rug out from underneath us. We could finally embrace our fears and our darknesses, and then we could finally raise this power from under the ground, because this is the extent and the results of our shadow work, is when we get down in the nitty-gritty and we allow ourselves to, we can uncover these deep, lost, dormant remnants of ourselves and heal them, fuse them back within us, and make us whole, because we are what we need. We really are. We really need our to be self-sufficient, to be able to go out and get what we need, be clear on our decisions without anyone there in the background with validation or confirmation of those thoughts or ideas. We need to be there and for ourselves, to ask ourselves questions which we are comfortable, we will come to the answer for. And I'm sure there are so many other shadow parts of me which I haven't talked about. Oh yeah, like my murderous side, my tendency to get murderous or wanting to kill people, wanting to, cut their heads off or stick a knife in them or cut their dicks off and make them swallow it. Other things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because, there is the animal kingdom and we are animals. So we all definitely have this kind of carnivorous, bloody side. And yes, war, I have that side of war in me. In fact, my father, which I was born to have in this life, well, he was in the army early on, so I see the resonance or the relation there. Love and war, men fighting over my love, fighting for me over love, or to have me for themselves. And that I definitely felt too. people have been in the past. One of my shadows is being scared to be in the dark, to be alone, to be by myself, scared of monsters or being chased by things that want me dead. Groups that want me to be afraid of knowing who I am, what I am, actually wanting to keep that a secret, which was the rocks in my throat. But now actually in my journey, I have managed to heal this and recover this truth of myself. So now I remember and realize that I am truth and that I speak truth with the very words which are coming out of my mouth. And that is me. And you meet me here where I channeled this, and that is my divine thought, pretty much. So the rest now to work on is my divine sexuality, divine truths in all organs and all other areas, places of our whole multi-dimensional being. So I am getting to that. What are some other fears I have? Oh yeah, abandonment issues. Like whenever I suffered huge tragedies of losing my twin flame or losing myself, that it felt like this huge severing pain. Like I could not go on after every time that happened. So sometimes I have an episode of this that comes back, and right back where those memories start, and it's emotional trauma. It's all these things that I usually would just bury deep down so I don't have to uncover it and go through it. And then that other part was that part of a grieving process of with any aspect of your life where you can't move forward, you're stuck here, or you're just not allowing yourself to and you don't want to. And it's not just because you don't have conversations with yourself about it doesn't mean that it's not invisible and you don't have these problems. That's not true. These are just places where you've been too afraid to come out about and to come out of the closet about. And sexuality, yeah, too. Like, I'm attracted to girls as much as I am guys, but I've been through some pretty bad sexual traumas and some really weird sexual encounters, which I was not okay with after looking back on it. It was not okay in the reflection when I finally expressed it to my twin as well, because there are many triggers, right? Many of my shadows which come out when I encounter him in the presence of my twin, and a huge big significator that I wasn't focusing on my shadow work, and I wasn't focused on the areas of myself where I was scared and I wasn't vibrant, my energy wasn't shining here. There were blockages where like that big sign where like I actually was really hiding myself from my twin. I didn't want him to find me here in these places. I thought it was ugly and unattainable. Like I wasn't worthy of love, and that was another one of my shadows, and it took me a lot to see my worth as well. So I finally started reaching out of this spot too and seeing how I can actually get things, and that that God is there and God never abandoned me, because I feel like I went through something like that too, where I felt like source, like God wasn't there. Like there was like one huge dark night where it was like everything changed. But God is there in my life. God has always been there, as well as for everyone else. And it's not true, all of these thoughts on all of the beliefs that you hold about yourself that say something where it defines an aspect of yourself as like an opinion of like this is the way you are, and it's not true. It doesn't hit all the way to the core. It's not true. These are like lies you tell yourself so you can sleep better at night or wake up in the morning. but you will die with all these regrets, and then when it's too late, and if you become restless, and then say if your spirit doesn't move on, that's not good either. And that's also why it was important for me to come out with these videos and to share these truths, express these truths to the world, where I felt like, hey, this really does need to be spoken out about, and people need to stop being quiet and stop acting like pretending they're dead, stop playing dead like they're a dog, because it's not working and people really need help here. So this was my videos on shadow work. My middle video was untitled, sorry about that. I'm a beginner YouTuber. Please, in the comments, say anything you wish, what you felt about this video, any ideas that came to you while I was talking, anything at all, just let me know. Please comment below with your time and your energy, if you want, if you wish. If you also, people don't say this, but to thumbs down my video if you didn't like it, if there's something about it you didn't genuinely like, okay? Because people shouldn't feel bad. I mean, there is a thumbs down button there, right? So people should be using it if there's something, they didn't like. There's nothing wrong with getting a thumbs down. Why are people so mad or so upset about that? Thumbs up my video if you like it, be honest, or thumbs down. I really don't care. And that's my boundary of my little detachment, so I can preserve my love for myself. I can end this video with a hit from my artificial yada yada vape pen. Speaking of addictions, shadow work. It's a beautiful day. No, it's an ugly, crappy day. Look where I am before I end my video. I hope everyone graces the day with love, care, self-care. Everyone can reach these points where they can get up and out of bed and feel self-sufficient. They can go out and feel abundant and know that money is there for them, or those relationships are there for you, and other things. Please subscribe if you want to support me, support my growing channel. I love you. I love all of you. I would love to say that. There's many types of love, yes, and we all need to get out of a mode of forcing a sort of like a psychotic impression of what you want people to feel, or what you want to force people to feel, because that's not right either. Let's all be raw, natural, and real with ourselves. Bye everyone, have a good day, or an ugly day, or a real day. Bye.